Subscribe to Simply Bitcoin.
All right, welcome everybody. Welcome in. You made it to another episode of the Meme Factory Bitcoin Stream Test. This is stream test number 166, and today we are joined by Evan Kaloudis, Rope, Yellow, and Pedro. Say hi, everybody.
Hi, everybody.
Hi, Dr. Nick.
Yeah.
All right, so gave Evan a brief run through. He knows he has to go through some ad copies so we can get paid before the show goes on. Evan, it's been dropped into your DMs on Twitter or X. If you can pull it up and rip through it, we can go ahead and move on with everything else. That'd be great.
Oh, okay. Let's see. Good morning and welcome to another episode of the Meme Factory Test Stream. And this week's episode is sponsored by Suscorp's newest innovation in Greco-Homo relations, Andriki Agapi. Are you tired of being King Malaka? Are you yearning for that timeless Mediterranean-style attachment between one 150-centimeter man and another tall man of the same height? There's a little disconnect, you know. I'm in the United States. We don't use meters. But do you want what another Greek men have yearned after for eons? Downloading Andriki Agapi will enter you into the tight inner circle that is the Greek lifestyle. Packed so tight with Turkish baths. Guys, you can't give me ad copy with Turkish content. Come on. And endless laughs between yourself and another moderately closeted homosexual. That's right. You could be minutes away from making souvlaki and sharing tzatziki with the Greek man you've been looking for. So download Andriki Agapi today. And we'll include our new AI tool that lets you see these men with or without their full body hair. See you on the catamaran, boys.
Woo! All right.
I hate that. Fuck you, Greg. I hate that.
Yeah, fuck you, Greg.
I sent an early copy of that to Yellow to see if he liked it, and he said, "It sounds too much like DEI," and I said, "That's perfect."
Hit it on the head.
All right, so the real question before we get started today, I want to hear from everybody, including Becca down here. Hey, Becca. Are you guys more of a slip-on or a lace-up situation with your shoes these days?
My shoes are laced up, but I've got them at the perfect tightness to where I can just slide on in. You know what I mean?
Yeah, same.
Right. Yeah, that's pretty ideal. That's what I got going on with the sneakers I'm wearing now. But I also got some slip-ons. I got some Van checkerboards over here.
There you go.
Here's my proof.
For when my gym shoes are kind of slip-on. They came with laces, but they've got they're kind of form-fitting around the ankle. So I just took the laces out and they just slide right on.
I mean, once you wear them enough and they've been to the proper tightness, you're set on your gym shoes.
Why would you want to go get something else?
Why would you?
You've already got it perfect size.
Yeah, exactly.
You're good.
Exactly. It just gets more and more comfortable as the years go on, and you really don't need another pair.
It might bitch a little too much, and maybe dinner's cold sometimes, but you get used to it, you know?
Jesus Christ. All right, so Evan, give us for anybody who doesn't know who you are, can you give a brief, give us the elevator pitch, who you are, what you do in the Bitcoin space?
Yeah, my name's Evan Kaloudis. I get invited to podcasts to read Andriki Agapi ad reads, first and foremost.
Yes.
But when I'm not on these shows, I'm working on a Bitcoin wallet called Zeus. So Zeus is like an all-in-one Lightning first wallet, self-custodial, free and open source. You can either spin up a whole Lightning wallet on your phone or connect to a remote node like an Umbrella or Star9, something like that. And we'll get you easily connected to the Lightning network. Get a Lightning address, hop in your Nostr profile, start zapping. And then recently, in the last year, we've also been helping businesses get on board into the Lightning network. So been trying to burn both ends of the candle, get this whole circular economy going, try to meet businesses where they're at, figure out where the pain points are in their operations, and see how we can get them accepting Bitcoin.
Okay. So
you're at it. So you're in New York, right? Or
no, I'm from New York originally. I was born and raised there. But now I'm down the road. I'm like right outside of Philadelphia. So been doing a lot of stuff with the Philadelphia Bitcoin scene. We got a Philly John meetup, which is an awesome monthly Bitcoin meetup that we have in a Chinese restaurant.
Oh, nice.
It's huge. Like they put us in the karaoke section, so there's like a big projector. We got microphones that have way too much reverb on them, but it's a huge space. So when Bull gets raging, like we could scale up really, really easily, and we've got a lot of like great content there. So happy to be part of that community, and we also got a lot of other small local meetups that are great too. Some great things are happening in Philly. It's fantastic.
Those are my old stomping grounds. You mind if I ask whereabouts outside of Philly you're talking? Are we talking Montgomery County, Delaware County?
Unfortunately, Montco. It's got a lot of great things in it, but it's also one of the most evil places in the universe.
Oh, why? Tell me why. That's where I grew up. Tell me.
That checks out.
There's some creatures here you got to be careful of. But otherwise, like it's got a lot of perks. I mean, food's great. Philadelphia food is great. It's pretty easy transition from New York. Things are cheaper. There's cheap property tax. Much better gun laws, so you could you could be packing everywhere, which is a nice little perk. But there's still like still a lot of let's say, for lack of a better word, statist elements. It's not as free as some other places in the country, but it is definitely a big step up from coming from New York. So that is nice.
Absolutely. All right, so I've got to ask, how long have you been in the area now?
Oh boy, so we moved out of New York. So I was living in Astoria, which is in Queens. That's like where all the Greeks hang out. So you want the good Greek food, you go to Astoria. You eat like a king. It's heaven. But when COVID hit, we still had those great places that we could pick up food from or get delivery, but everything else sort of went out the window. You couldn't go out. You didn't, the social life was gone, but you kept the high rent. So we got out. We decided to go to Jim Thorpe up in the sticks in PA. Out in nature. It was beautiful. We'd go snowboarding 2 or 3 times a week because we're so close to the mountains. That was magic. And then, we reeled it in. We came into the suburbs out in Montco. And, so it's been quite a while just being in Pennsylvania in general, a few years now. But we're settling down now. We're all settled. We're getting a new house in the area soon, and it's nice.
All right, so you gotta give a shout out. No, he's got to give a shout out to his favorite cheesesteak place before we move on to another question.
What is the one that I like? Is it Jim's? I think it's Jim's. Jim's has like really good fountain sodas that they make by hand. We like to go to the one in Fishtown in Philly. It's really nice. But then I think second place would probably be like something like Delisandro's, which is like a little bit outside of the city.
Yes,
it's a really good underrated spot. The whole dynamics of the cheesesteak places are crazy, right? Like the two main guys are like too mainstream. The steaks suck. But there's a lot of like really good under the radar places that don't get enough love that are just amazing. And finding a new one, even if it's not in the city, a little bit more out here, it's one of the best feelings. It's amazing.
I remember when I was in high school, my senior year, my friends and I all had a free period together, and we figured out during the free period we had enough time to leave school, drive to Delisandro's, get a cheesesteak, and drive back before the next class. It was fantastic.
Oh, that's beautiful, yeah. Such a good spot.
I want to let Yellow get his question in here.
We were doing the same thing, but with drugs. You were doing it with cheesesteaks or something.
Yeah.
I was gonna ask even like chasing states as between jobs, like it is difficult, like chasing states with a startup attached. Like how's that transition happened? Was it easy? Hard?
No, okay. Well, I mean that year. like COVID 2020, like that's like a big demarcation line for like everyone, right? And I was going through like a number of changes, right? Like I had just left my cybersecurity gig, and I went to work at Kraken. And Kraken, I was mostly working on the Lightning Gateway, so people could send and receive payments. And yeah, I mean, like it was super tough because not only had I moved away from my friends, I had to get acquainted with new work colleagues, but that was also all online. Like my cyber gig was like part remote, but I still had an office in New York I could go to. Um, but yeah, it was just like everything got turned up on its head. I was in this town that was nothing like the city. Uh, had to drive like 30 minutes just to get the grocery store.
Yeah.
Everyone, all my coworkers, I only knew because I talked to them, online. There's a few people from Kraken that I'd like meet up with at conferences, but that's not the same thing as sharing office space. It was tricky. It was tricky. But what else? What else could we have done? Just put our best foot forward, and obviously we've gone on and moved a lot more since then. We moved again, went through a couple more jobs. Like I went and worked at Lightning Labs after Kraken. But yeah, the Zeus going full time on that was a little later. So
Had you launched Zeus yet, or did you launch Zeus after the move?
I had made Zeus in 2019 is when I started putting out the free and open source app. So I was like still building it that year, fleshing it out, really getting into a good state. But it was still like the side gig, the thing I would do after work on weekends, hack on that. But then it wasn't until 2023 that I took the plunge, and I'm like, okay, I'm gonna go work on this full time. I went through the Wolf Incubator. We got a little startup funding to get the wheels rolling, and that's when everything sort of transformed. Like we turned the app from like a remote controller to like a full Lightning wallet. We went and we had the LSP, so we were like making revenue or started to make revenue from opening these Lightning channels. We then started working with some companies like as we were just figuring out our like white glove product, and we got PubKey on board, and we built out a POS that they started using. So yeah, it's like such a unique thing that like this thing's been alive for 6.5 years, but we've only been going at it like properly like two and change, and we're still trying to put the pieces together. But it's like very different. It's like we have been putting together these puzzle pieces, these building blocks for over the years, and now everything is like sort of coming together, and it's got this real momentum where we have like these businesses reaching out to us, not only just in the Bitcoin space selling Bitcoin products, but like in the real world, with brick and mortar establishments, merchants that are selling goods online, some mom and pop stuff, some like name brand stuff, and people have seen like that Bitcoin's not going anywhere. It's not a fad. It's doing very well if you hold it. They see that there's slowly demand for it, and people are slowly wrapping their heads around it a little bit more. They understand that they can save a bunch on payment processing fees, and we can roughly cut the credit card costs by a half in I'd say, most situations. In some, we could cut it by even more than that, which is amazing. And yeah, people just feel like it's time to modernize, and instead of thinking of Bitcoin as a scam or some Ponzi or just something that's out of grasp, they're like, oh, okay, it's time for us to embrace this and to modernize our businesses. This is like this is like installing a fax machine for the first time, or the first time your business knows that they need to set up a website. they see that there's opportunities to bring more customers in, spread the word, but then also to save on costs in terms of the payment processing. It's a super exciting prospect for a lot of businesses. And yeah, we really just feel like the momentum has been building. The excitement for it is palpable, and
For sure.
yeah, it's awesome. It's so amazing to just have this opportunity to do this. Not all everyone has the opportunity to
I'm
work on
I'm
something
20
so
I'm 24 hours like fucking on Twitter, and I have to say that the hard work you guys are giving, put, it shows. Like I'm seeing more and more players like using Zeus and asking about Zeus and like tinkering with Zeus, and I feel like you and maybe Francis from Bull Bitcoin are like the few accounts that, like, if I'm gonna see tweet about, like, it's not about drama, it's not about politics, it's like about war. Like we
yeah.
Yeah.
build we build that thing now. Like it's about that, and like it's refreshing to see. I'm
Right,
excited for
right.
sure.
Yeah,
Not
I
worried
mean,
about your MNAV.
Yeah, not all that. Yeah,
yeah, that's true. Yeah, I mean it's tough, man. I mean, I've definitely been in that camp in the past. It's so much fun to shit post and talk politics, talk about other things, talk about distractions. But just right now, like me and people that are helping us build this thing out, like we're just very focused and mission oriented. And we know obviously.
and Kale, shout out to Kale.
And Kale, yeah, Kale has been great too.
Yeah,
We just did the cashew integration to Zeus, and we could get into that too.
yeah,
But no, we just know that there's so much opportunity ahead of us, and especially coming out of the environment that we were in the last couple of years, where the last admin was cracking down. We really didn't know what the future was gonna be. Just everything that happened following Samurai Wallet developers getting arrested.
Operation Choke Point.
Yeah, all that stuff, and now that has changed, like obviously things can still change on a dime. If the state doesn't want something to operate, they're going to clamp down on it still. But the environment we're in, and where the president is saying, "Oh, crypto is an industry that's very good for our country. It's great. It takes pressure off the dollar. It's good for the United States." Like, say what you will about the man on a million different issues, but like coming out of that guy's mouth from that position really means a lot, and it means that we have a lot of runway as Bitcoiners, as developers, as entrepreneurs, and they're giving us an inch right now, and we got to take a mile. So the next 3.5 years, we're going to be pushing as hard as possible, so that we don't end up in the same situation that the Samurai Wallet developers ended up in. And their story's not over. We still have fighting to do. We got to get those guys off scot-free. And there's sub battles, and it's complicated, but still we have a duty to try to push forward so much, not just from an end user, like an app user perspective, but from a business perspective. This technology has to be ingrained into businesses, into commerce, not only in the United States, but in the world, so deeply that it's just politically untenable to have an anti-Bitcoin position. And everyone has their role to play in this. As the constituents, the people that are voting, like the hodlers, like that has to be widespread. There's also has to be an effort to, do the lobbying and pay off politicians and rub shoulders with them. I'm not going to be doing that, but I commend the people who are making those efforts. What I'm going to do is I'm going to try to push and proliferate this tech through businesses, through end users, and just push the medium of exchange angle. Because if Bitcoin is just this shiny rock that you store under your bed, or you keep with a custodian or in an ETF, then the whole thing is fucked. It's a failure in my eyes. And it's not going to be considered a success to me until you can live off of it in every U.S. metropolis without having to convert it into fiat. And that's the end goal. There's a lot of challenges in getting there, but I really don't think it's that far away. and we're excited by the opportunity, the role that we can play in helping facilitate that. It's not just going to be us, obviously, but to have some ability to push the needle there is amazing, and that's our mission.
Evan, I've heard you say a few times that if they're going to give us an inch, we should take a mile. And I really want to get an idea from you, like, what steps are included in taking that mile? Like, what are you going after with Zeus in order to secure the additional mile here?
The one word that I think about is ubiquity. We want to be everywhere. And, we've realized that everyone is really different. Individuals have different wants and needs. They have different preferences as to how they're using Bitcoin. And if you're going to get upset about how people use it, you're going to have a hard time, right? Bitcoin really is permissionless at its root. There's some nuances with, the custodial options and how they could all work. But if you're just going to moralize and say, oh, no, you're using Bitcoin the wrong way, you're not going to make much progress, and you're going to have a real hard time. And, you could balance that against, having our core principles that we have. Zeus the wallet has to stay free and open source. We never, ever are going to KYC our end users. Those are hard lines. But everything else, there is a lot of room to give people different solutions that work better for their use case. And our tagline has sort of evolved and become, Bitcoin payments your way. So we're trying to meet people where they're at, try to learn what their situation is like, and drop in the solutions that make sense for them. And, in a lot of ways, Zeus is that Swiss Army knife, right? You can run the node on your phone. You can connect to a remote node. You've always been able to be a user account on your Uncle Jim's node where he's managing everything. He's the custodian, but you go bother him. Now we got this Cashew eCash option where you can start with this no KYC, really great privacy, but custodial solution. And as your balance increases, the wallet's going to yell at you and be like, hey, you don't really own this Bitcoin. You just sort of have access to it for now. That might change. Your balance is getting bigger. It might make sense for you to, pull the trigger, get a channel from our LSP that's self-custodial. No one's ever going to be able to take those funds from you. And, take responsibility and really own your Bitcoin and, reap the benefits of what it can offer, this technology. It's very much our mindset right now is very much meeting users, meeting business owners where they are, and sort of showing them the way.
Which businesses are you onboarding coming up in the next, let's call it, year? And if you can't name them, that's fine. Just rhyme them with something like Walmart or Publix.
We're having amazing conversations. So we're in the middle of a few things. Everything is in various stages, but there's more. If you like Steak and Shake, there's more burger joints coming down the line. There's ice cream parlors. There's service providers. There's mom and pop antique shops. There's everything. This technology is really for everyone. But we're also doing these deep API integrations where we're helping these intricate new types of businesses get set up now and plugging in so that they can just be on native Bitcoin rails. It's really crazy, just the variety of people that we're talking with right now is just amazing. And I honestly do feel like we're going to get to a point where if you don't, in the same way that in the 2010s, if you didn't get your business onto the internet in some way, whether it be a website or social media, more so in that decade, you're just going to be in the Stone Age. You're going to be in the past. So we need to get it to a point where, like, okay, Bitcoin as a payments option, it's going to be expected. Like it might sound like a far shot right now when you frame it like, okay, what's the go-to medium for payments right now in the United States? Like tap to pay on like a Apple Pay, Samsung Pay, Google Pay,
Right.
whatever. Like we need to get it to the point where people are demanding it like that. Like just assuming like, oh, can you tap to pay here? Can I use my Apple Pay here? Like we need it to be at the level where people are like, oh, you guys have a Bitcoin option. So let's see. I mean, there's a lot of challenges there in terms of adoption, and not of all of it is in our control as entrepreneurs or app developers or people putting together these services. A lot of it is social. A lot of it is education. There's also like illegal barriers. Like there are people who are very caught up on the capital gains tax stuff. Like if the capital gains stuff goes away, our business is going to go nuts. Like it would be the number one thing that would drive usage and more customers. It would be so exciting. How realistic that is, I don't know. There's been some rumblings about it this week, but personally, I don't think it's going to happen for quite a bit longer. But at the end of the day, like people need to also realize like this is their money. Like you can use it however you want. You can go spend it. This currency has generally really good privacy if you're using it in a self-custodial manner, especially on the Lightning Network.
Yeah.
There might be some asterisks you put up there if it's on chain and you could do chain analysis. You haven't like mixed it. You got it from a exchange. Okay, that's a different story. But you have it in a Lightning wallet that you control. You route the payment, and you didn't count on a third party to route the payment for you. Like you have fucking awesome privacy. The business doesn't know who the hell you are. And this is the technology that needs to take over in place of cash, which is unfortunately dying. We have this older group, this older crowd, and they proclaim cash is king. And in a lot of ways it is, right? It's final settlement. There's no chargebacks on the credit card. It doesn't have the great, obviously it's subject to inflation and being printed, from thin air, which is awful. But from a privacy perspective, it's great. And then you have the new generation, and they're all on credit cards. They're all either doing tap to pay with their plastic cards or their smartphones. And that's, so much more convenient. You don't have to worry about the change. You don't have to carry extra stuff with you. But the privacy is basura. It's awful. And I really feel like Lightning.
Wait, did you just say basura?
Yeah, he said it means awful, and we took him at his word.
Oh, it means trash in Spanish. That's interesting.
Yeah, it is trash. It is trash. Paying with credit cards. And we're just excited. We have like such a great value prop here. It is, as almost as private as cash. It is almost as convenient as credit cards. It costs the merchants less to process than a credit card, and those rates are going down every day. And then, lastly, and perhaps most importantly, but it gets realized last, is this currency doesn't melt like an ice cube. And if you start pricing your goods in it, your customers aren't going to have to see price increases every year. And it's going to make you running your business easier. You're going to get yourself more runway if you decide to hold it as a treasury asset. And really, at that point, it just becomes, okay, is there a way for the business owners to skirt around having to convert it and deal with the cost there? How do they get their, the people that are
You keep it.
selling that.
You keep it as a treasury asset, and then you spin off shares that you can take loans on for cash. How do you not
this
know
is
this process?
revolutionary.
Yeah.
Whoa.
That's how it's done. It's already been put together.
Oh shit.
It's basically risk free.
Yeah. All you have to do is find suckers that you think that they're buying Bitcoin when it's really just a share. Right? It's amazing.
The world is full of suckers, my friend.
Yeah, that's sort of the new trend now.
Was that a dig at me, Rope, when you said the world? The world is.
If the shoe fits, Rusty, you know. Good morning.
Yeah.
If
Good
the
morning.
slip-on fits.
Hey, I just realized why you called it Zeus, because like lightning god. There you go. That's clever.
I
Just
thought
realized
go.
it just then.
Yeah.
Yeah, I thought it was maybe just to get like yellow on side, with the Greek connection, like appease yellow, get him on your
It was
team.
a long con just to get on the meme factory.
Nice.
Finally worked out.
Yeah,
Yeah.
the lightning god thing makes more sense.
Yeah, I mean, listen, I'm Greek American. You know, my parents are both Greek. My dad came off the boat, or rather the airplane. My grandparents came off the boat,
Yeah.
and yeah, I was just grew up with Greek mythology, learned that stuff in school too when I went to private Greek school. And yeah, just like the tales are just unbelievable. And now that like we've tapped into it, it's like an interesting tension because obviously we got the name recognition with Zeus, like it's just makes sense really to just brand Zeus on everything, but we just have such a backlog of like iconic characters to pull from if we want to do like new products. And
Smart.
it's just epic, some of this stuff. And we've seen people do like art and similar branding off of it, like even unrelated, even uninspired by us directly. Like we had like Madex, like he did an awesome Zeus piece on his own, and I'm like, okay, that's mine now. I'm gonna buy it. Yeah, he's great. We're seeing if we can find some more ways to work together. But yeah, it's just like an epic imagery, and I think that this technology is really empowering. You take control of your finances in a way that has never been possible, at least from this perspective of the everyman. And I truly believe that, it makes you feel like a god. Like when I first saw the value proposition of Bitcoin, it's when I had money in a wallet, I had my 12 seed passphrase, and I restored it on a different device. And I felt like a god. I was like, okay, I just have to memorize these 12 words, and I could take it to prison with me. I could come out 30 years later. I could take it across a border. I could email it. I could send it in text. I can do whatever, and I could transport this. And this is a universal format that can be pulled into different wallets, different open source software. It's verified. There's no black box. You keep this secret secure. You control it. Unilateral control. It was powerful. It was like a god, and I want people to have that same experience when they're making these payments, when they see them come in the first time. And I want them to I want them to feel empowered by this, but I also want them.
Evan, I'm sorry. We've got a rule here. If Rusty raises his hand, I've gotta let him ask whatever question it is. So sorry, he's rude. He just interrupts people. It is what it is. But he's here. What's up, Rusty?
It's all good.
I put my hand up. You're the one that's rude that decides when to interrupt the guest. That's what. No, you mentioned
party. That's good.
Yeah. So you mentioned just earlier, like you can memorize the 12 words, and I hear a lot of people say that. But has anyone here actually managed to successfully remember 12 words?
I mean, if you read off yours, I'll give it a try.
Yeah. Evan, have you actually memorized 12 words in the right order?
I don't know. What do you think?
Oh, okay. Playing an offset card there. All right, no problems.
I've done it, Rusty.
There you go. Thanks, Pedro. I appreciate it.
Well, Pedro's got to
Anytime,
also
Jessica.
like memorize 17 kids' names, so I think 12 words should be pretty easy for him.
At least they're all his.
we got a Nick Cannon scenario on the pod.
Absolutely.
There was a good video this week where
That's
he's
why
like,
it doesn't matter how much Bitcoin I have, I'm still poor.
Yes. All right.
Well, you're rich in other ways, which is important.
I want to make sure Rope has time to go through the memes for the meme review section, and I think I failed, but I'm going to hand it over to him anyway. Evan, as we go through this, Rope's going to review some memes that were sent to us through the week, and he's going to ask us to help him score them as we go through them. So if you think of good scores for these memes as we're going through, that would be super helpful.
Do it.
Good morning. Good morning. Meme review. We're gonna start off with the Having Party at Having Party MF. You may have heard of it. This looks like a TikTok that Sean or Pedro just screenshotted and posted it out there. I only suggest Pedro because he was the only one that commented besides a bot. And yeah, it's TikTok. Caption in the Fed. I hope Iran doesn't try to destroy our top secret nuclear facility. Pictured here in the top left corner, and it's just a picture of the Fed. This is good. My favorite one was of these of this style that was going around was when they had the Kansas City Chiefs stadium.
Yeah,
Yes. Yes.
I thought that was good. All right, moving along here. This one's a little bit of an older meme. I don't know who did this one. It was Greg. Maybe it was Yellow. I'm not sure exactly. But
Could have been me. Could have been Rusty.
At Need Creations. Like, I need to score this. Oh, fuck me. Score.
Fuck me.
This is, I mean, anything with the Federal Reserve being destroyed is like almost an instant 10.
Printing bombs.
Yeah, it's unbelievable.
All right, sorry. Moving along now. At Need Creations, guess which side I'm on now is the caption here, and we've got, what is this thing, like a pendulum of sorts or something?
A metronome.
A metronome, thank you.
Metronome.
Nerd.
You're welcome.
All right, anyways, we've got on the
Call
left
you a
side.
nerd.
Yeah.
Oh my God, I must tell everyone I know about Bitcoin so they can protect themselves from the imminent financial disaster on the left side. On the right side, it swings to fuck them. And then right here, the metronome is called me. This is an oldie but goldie right here. Score.
Fuck 'em.
Definitely not
Score, fuck 'em.
at our RDBTC's meme.
Definitely not.
Boom.
It's not like he has his watermark there.
No,
I don't see anything.
Shut up.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Moving along, we've got at Paolo Ardul. Oh, fuck, man. Is this guy Greek too?
No.
Paolo
Italian.
Ardoin.
Paolo.
Italian. Okay. What's the difference? Anyways,
For a shitcoiner, Paolo is more Bitcoin than most Bitcoiners out there.
he's a shitcoiner? I didn't know that. See, I don't keep up with this stuff. I'm not on Twitter 24/7. All right, we've got the EU as the caption.
based.
I'll be back. He's based. Cool. So we've got the kid hiding under the desk here, titled "Retail Savings." We've got the Terminator EU, and this is a quote tweet here that's quite hilarious. At the ECB, there is an urgent need to channel retail savings into capital markets to develop those markets and finance EU priorities. An EU savings standard could increase retail participation, benefiting savers, boosting investments, and supporting strategic priorities. Greg, what is this translation? Is it just like, we can spend your savings better than you? Is that basically what this amounts to?
Yes.
It's your money is our money, and we know what to do best with it in the first place.
But wait, guys, we gotta wait for the emergency.
Score.
So emergency pops up, we gotta be ready.
EU are definitely not going to spend your money.
Score.
Score hour.
Madness.
Definitely not going to spend.
No. EU,
money.
not YOU.
What?
Oh my God.
What was it? All right, moving along. We ain't got much time here. Keeping it going at Ben Justman. This boring price action got me thinking. And we've got the what's the guy? Bilbo? No, yeah, Bilbo back.
Yeah, it's Bilbo.
Lord of the
Bilbo.
Rings. After all, why not, nerds? Why shouldn't I keep playing Creed? And he's got the eyes with the
Yeah,
big
he's
coin
right.
on him. Yellow.
But
What's the
he's right.
score?
Yellow
Yellow.
Ben for the win.
What was it?
Yellow Ben for the win.
Yellow.
One
Yeah.
word. Yellow Ben.
For
One
the-
word.
Oh, it's a one word? Okay. Yellow bin for the win. Bum, 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 bum. Moving along, we got to get some Maxie's Club love
Wish
out
I
there.
knew what that
She's
meant.
always just chucking around, grinding it out, very consistent. We've got them. You can't hodl forever, and then me with the diamond hand.
Those aren't turkey legs?
Yeah.
Like you put the foil on them before you stick it in the oven?
You can always
They're
tell when
frog
Greg's getting a
legs.
little
They're
hungry.
frog legs.
Foil turkey legs.
She's not going to understand that at all.
That's all right. Well, she should watch the goddamn stream. And
She
would
should.
understand.
She should. She's been on.
Foil turkey legs at Greg Judge. All right, moving on. We've got Perman. I just put this one on here to trigger Pedro. The first
my
step
God.
is admitting there's a problem. I need help with under desk cable management. Pedro, how does that make you feel?
I mean, this is probably somebody that I wouldn't care about if their desk looked like that. So I don't care. People can do what they want.
Oh, my God. That's horrendous.
Okay, I misjudged the market here. I'm triggering Greg more than Pedro. Thanks.
I don't believe you. Just
Uh,
trying.
I don't believe you. Is that the score?
Who is Donnie?
Huh?
Who is Donnie?
Who's dawning? What?
Yeah.
What?
Right.
All right.
I would
Moving
be
on here.
sending somebody back to that office to fix that.
That's pretty bad.
That's awful.
All right,
there you
at
go.
Walker America. Kind reminders. The caption here. We've got the Virgin Mary. I guess that's his phone background or something, and it's got a reminder, iPhone reminder here popping up. Inflation is a silent tax, and taxation is theft. And you've got a choice here. I guess it's you can buy Bitcoin or stay asleep. Decent meme there, not too shabby. 844 likes. Anybody got Evan? You got anything for this?
I don't know. Somebody, the light.
It's godly. It's godly.
Good callback. Evan, what's your at?
At Evan Kaloudis, EVANK, and I'll pop up. There you go. You're following me. Thank you.
I didn't know that, but anyways, moving along. All right, we've got a sound meme here for Mr. Yellow. This is at ICO Offender 2. You may have heard of him. Michael at Sailor simply explains how at strategy works. The macro encabulator. Did I say that right, Yellow?
Classic video.
Yes.
Okay, let's see if I can.
Here at Macrowell Strategy
No, here-
World headquarters,
Yep.
research has been proceeding to develop a line of delusion products that establishes new standards for quality economic leadership and operating excellence. For a number of halvings now, significant capital deployment has been proceeding with the singular objective of maximizing speculative deterministic flux across the time chain while concurrently densifying the Satoshic throughput of fiduciary stratal constructs. Such an apparatus is the macroencabulator. Fundamentally, the only novel principle involved is the transdimensional modulation of convictional liquidity, harmonized via the plebinal bifurcation of volatility gradients. Achieved, of course, through spontaneous SAT stacking across the layer yield continuum. The foundational protocol is undergirded by a reverse inflationary motion vector facilitated by the integration of digitally scarcified epistem clusters and a patented delusion-bearing spindle. The central component is STRF, a forward-expiring, conviction-weighted instrument built on a reinforced truss lattice of derivative feedback loops. It operates entirely within the 21 million unit constraint, while expanding volumetric exposure through tactically re-leveraged conviction oscillators. Interfaced with this is STRK, a zero-day convexity enhancer that allows institutions to temporarily hallucinate alpha. Using laminated gamma thresholds and moral hazard neutralized strike zones, STRK continuously emits trust me bro particles until the theta bleed collapses the waveform. Supporting both is STRD, a decentralized, deregulated, and occasionally deniable recalibration system that rebalances across multi-directional BTC vol structures using a proprietary Sailor spiral algorithm, patent pending, based entirely on a luck of proof of reserves. Meanwhile, The MSTY module provides a 4-week menstruation stream synced
What?
with its holder's cycle
Menstruation?
by reverse forging call premiums on synthetically simulated MSTR estrogenics. Instead of holding equity, MSTY utilizes optionally pre-collateralized strike deltas locked inside treasury-backed salt vaults. This enables woke positive drag in a directional multi-optional agnostic shilling parabola. The macro encabulator has now achieved macro scale hypermaxi monetary inertia and is currently deployed across multiple institutional
Greg?
echo chambers. The macro encabulator, available now on all major platforms as it is being used in the calibration of bitch better have my money exposure, meme adjusted portfolio construction, and emotionally unstable hedged conviction rebalancing.
Wow.
This better have my money.
Wow.
I've
Yeah, I
already
think
got
that's the score.
for this one. I think the score is this is why yellow isn't being invited to Sailor's next party.
I was in though. I was
No?
kicked out, but I was in.
Well,
Somebody doesn't
yeah,
like
well.
apostrophes.
Evan, we've been having a hard time getting
Oh,
Sailor back on.
Sorry, Pedro. Start over. Say that again.
I was just saying to Evan that we've been having trouble getting Sailor back on. I wonder if he has any thoughts on why we can't get him back in here.
Well, I don't think I'm the guy to reel him back in. You know, that's just it's probably not the avenue to go, boys. I wish you the best of luck there.
Let's say Evan enjoyed the meme.
He's still using my profile picture that I made for him. So I think that'll be the final straw. Once he changes his profile picture, it's all off. That's crap.
That's where you're drawing the line.
He probably doesn't know how to
Don't
do that. He probably has.
Probably
He's
doesn't.
probably like somebody's done it for him. And he just doesn't care to ask somebody to change it.
That's an
All right.
embarrassing thing to do. You call in your assistants like
Your resident Zoomer, yeah.
You mind helping me change my profile picture?
Yeah. All right, let's move along. We're running short on time here. We've got at Rod Palmer Hoddle. This is the kombucha girl meme. War with Iran, ew, gross, causes shit coins to crash. Well, that's not too. That's a pretty clever meme. There's a few of these.
Bombs away.
Bombs away at Greg's eyes.
It's been a great cycle for being a shitcoin hater. I'll tell you that much. Fantastic cycle.
It has been fantastic.
Not too shabby.
But they just rebranded them.
Yeah.
They do it all the time. Yeah. At eggplant_Elon. This is the B2 bomber that's shaped like a peregrine falcon. That's shaped like a paper-handed panic selling. It did numbers, but I'm not really quite sure what the like. I'm not. I'm not sure.
I thought about this one a lot. It's like and because I quite enjoyed it.
Okay, go ahead.
And I think it's just a hand reaching for the sell button. I think that's what it is.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Well, that's how you start off.
Let me tell you guys.
Yes,
when you're
tell
fisting
us.
someone.
As the spokesperson of we all know what this really is, okay? If you're going in for impact, you want to put your fingers in together, okay?
It's a tight circle.
If you're going,
yeah, definitely. Like at that
in
point, you're
for
committing to all
impact?
5 fingers, right? You're like that's.
Yeah.
You're
all in.
Yeah.
You're all
He's
in.
all in.
Yeah.
He's all in. That's it. There we go. He is all in.
Yeah, there we go.
Boom. All right, moving along. I've got my own meme on here. This because I did this one did 165 likes. That's like pretty big for me these days. At Ropium Gay. Caption.
Yeah, this is a good one.
And that's how I met your mom. He's got I love you shooting like a Kamehameha. I have a boyfriend. And then it said the original meme said I have a 9-inch cock, but I just changed that to 9 Bitcoin, and people seem to enjoy it. So
Is that the ratio?
is that the ratio?
Like, yeah, 1 inch, like 1 bit.
1 inch per Bitcoin.
So you're saying you're good.
1 inch per Bitcoin. Thank you,
That's
Yellow.
awesome. That's really good.
Moving along, we've got another one for at Yellow here. At ICO Offender 2 has been on a tear with these treasury Bitcoin companies lately. The banana ratio, if you can't beat them, join them. Am I right? Has secured a 21 million commitment from Naka founder at David F. Bailey to become a Bitcoin treasury company. The ticker is $banana bread. Good
Yeah.
name. Good troll.
He's joined the space of mine, and he verbally admitted to give me 21 million. So I'm still waiting.
Not gonna buy that stock.
Not gonna buy. I can't type. Gonna buy that stock. Is it a stock?
That's pretty good. That's pretty good.
Yeah. Moving along, we've got at Rod Sirloin. Me when the draft officer knocks at my door. He's got a Down syndrome guy with a BSV T-shirt on. Clearly, this man cannot serve in the United States Armed Forces. He is retarded. Yellow, Greg, y'all got a score?
Am I retarded?
Down bad.
Down bad. I wish I could do the BT. Never mind. Down bad. There we go. All right, here we go. Last one. Pretty funny shit post right here at Bugle Bitcoin _Boogle. Just in, Peter Schiff's nose began bleeding live on CNBC after at Joe Squawk turns interview about gold into a pro Bitcoin rant. That's a pretty good shit post right there. I like that. That's funny. Evan, you got anything there?
Joe Squawk. You got to go to PubKey with Matt Kita. Make it happen, man.
I'm not typing all that out.
You can't spell that.
I can't spell all that. No.
I
Pedro?
can't spell all that.
Fuck it, we ball. All right, everybody. And then one more. This is not a meme, but this is a funny shit post by at Copernicus Sun 6. This is a question addressed to Mr. Evan Kaloudis. Evan, if you had a gun to your head and had to pick, would you rather get a foot job from Rope, me, or close source Zeus for 10 million of VC money?
What size shoe do you wear?
11. 11 and a half.
Does that make a difference? You definitely don't want to touch.
He's gonna do some damage with 11s.
Well, I gotta ask you, Evan, how many bitcoins you have?
Well, now that we have repegged Bitcoin, now that there was a stock split, quite a few now.
We're pegging. It was just a foot job. And now we've moved on to pegging. Like, come on, man, get it together. Let's go. Come on. All right, that's it. I'm done here.
Thank you, Rope. Good job.
Nice.
Good job, Rope.
Nice.
That was great, guys. That was magical.
Thank you.
Good week for memes.
It was a good week for memes.
Pretty good. Pretty good.
So we got a couple of minutes left here, Evan. I want to make sure you get ample time to shill where folks can find you online, where they can find Zeus, any projects you're working on that you just feel like you need to shout out.
Yeah, and maybe a few words for the casual integration.
Yep, absolutely.
Yeah, guys, you can find me at Evan Kaloudis on Twitter. Our handle for Zeus is ZeusLN. You can also find accounts for both of us on Noster. We're on Telegram at ZeusLN. If you ever have problems with your app, go check out Zeus. Download the app, ZeusLN.com. We're on both iOS and Android. Come with your own Lightning node, Umbrella Start OS, whatever, or spin up a full Lightning node in your phone with just a couple button presses. And yeah, try out the new features in Zeus. Get set up with Cashew. Try that eCash. You do swaps on chain to Lightning now, and all in the app. Yeah, we're gonna have a lot more Cashew updates soon. We're busy onboarding a ton of merchants and companies right now. And then, yeah, the rest of the year, we're going to be doing like a lot of refinement of the UX, the onboarding flows in the app. That should be exciting. We're going to try to get to Zeus 1.0 is what we're going to call it. But, you know, the work is never finished on it. We're going to just keep going.
Yeah, one day we'll stop doing stream tests.
Check it out. Reach out if you have problems with the app. Always looking for feedback. We got great support channels on Telegram, email. Just shoot us a tweet, whatever. And yeah, just my message is, you know, don't be afraid to spend your Bitcoin. It's going to be, you know, pennies when all is said and done compared to the stacks that I think people watching the show will have. This thing's not going to succeed unless you could spend it everywhere. And, try to onboard businesses that you frequent. I think everything starts local. That's where you could have the most amount of impact. And, we'll go there.
So let me get this straight, Evan. You don't, for OPSEC reasons, you don't want to tell me if you can memorize 12 words, but you can use your first name and last name as your Twitter handle. Is that what's happening?
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Okay. All right. On the same page.
Yeah, fuck you, Rusty.
All right.
Yeah, fuck you.
Yeah,
Rusty.
100%. What, are you going to come up and find out where I live? You're going to be dead, motherfuckers.
I'm
I
good.
already explained. I live in Pennsylvania, guys. It's a hold your ground state.
Yeah, it is.
Gonna get smoked.
So
Are you kidding me? That is if you even find me to begin with. But no, you just come out to the Bitcoin Join meetup. It's a great time. We'll go get a cheese afterwards. Some Chinese food at the restaurant.
Threatens to shoot you, but no,
We're
yeah,
friendly.
come on out. Yeah, it's fine.
That's very Philly. It sounds like he's adapted very well. You guys can come over and either get shot or have a cheesesteak. It'd be a good time.
Yeah.
Speaking of coming over and getting shot or having a cheesesteak, what are you doing at block height 1,050,000?
1,050,000. I don't know.
This is a tough one. So for some reason, no one can ever get this question. What happens at that block? I don't know.
Yeah, nobody ever figures it out. It's crazy.
No one ever figures it out on the fly.
Well, what is that? It's not the next halving, is it?
Hey, what are you
Got
doing for
some
the next
points.
halving?
Points for Evan.
Oh man! Oh, that's awesome. Can I come back now?
Of course you can come back, but this is we're inviting you to the next halving party is what we're doing. So if you're not doing anything it's private. It's not. Hey, we don't not know.
It's really rude of Greg to ask somebody what they're doing when we don't even know what we're doing.
You know
so,
what? Well, usually Sean asks it, but I'm just being rude in his stead today.
That's fine. Yeah, I get that.
Okay, well, wherever it is, I'll definitely consider it. Last halving, I was just curmudgeon inside because I thought we were going to have a chain split or something, and I was manning the LSP, making sure we had code that would handle that.
Oh shit!
But this time, everything's going to be much more mature and advanced. I'll definitely come out to a party. We'll have a great time.
Yeah.
Excellent. All right, Evan's in for the halving party. You heard it here, everybody. Come to the next halving party. Say hi to Evan. And thank you, everybody, for tuning in tonight or listening later or whatever you do. Have a great night and stay safe out there.
Great, Greg. Fuck you, Greg.
Great ending.